Have you ever written the same line of code again and again just to print the number 1 to 100? What if I tell you one loops can replace 100 lines of code? In this video, you will learn loops in C# using real example. See how the program actually execute using debugging, and by the end, loops will feel natural, not confusing. Don't worry about the theory now. We will start with code first. We will cover for loop, while loop, do while loop, for each loop, and most importantly, when to use which loop in real project. Suppose I want to print the number from 1 to 5. One way is this. This works. But what if I want to print 1 to 100 or 1 to 1 million? This is not scalable. This is where loops comes in. A loops allow us to execute the block of code repeatedly based on the condition, instead of writing code again and again. Let's jump straight into the first loop, that is for loop. First see the output. The output with this code is simple, clean and powerful. Now I'm gonna put a breakpoint here and run this program in debugging mode. Here first initialization is happen, and that initialization is happen only once. After that it check the condition. Since I is 1, here we check is 1 is less than or 5. Yes, the condition is true, and it goes inside the curly braces. Then code inside the curly braces execute. After that we change the value of I by incrementing it. Then again it check the condition and the loop run. Currently the value of I is 5. Now value of I is incremented and it becomes 6. So the condition becomes fails and the loop exit. Now what happen if I write I is less than or equal to 100 instead of 5? Exactly 100 line printed with the same code. So what is the real use case? You will use for loop when you know in advance how many time to loop. Example is printing table or looping through the index based data, or if there is a fixed number of iteration. Now imagine, what if you don't know how many times the loop should run? Example, keep looping until user enter correct password. Keep looping while balance is greater than 0. Here is a while loop code. Let's first run and see the output. It print the same value. Let's debug this. Here first we initialize, and before entering into the body of while, we first check the condition. Since the condition is true, the code inside curly braces execute, and also the value of number is increased, and this goes again and again until the condition become false. Currently the value of number is 5. Now when n++ is executed, the value of number becomes 6. The condition fails, the loop exits. Now what if the condition false at the first? If the condition is false at the start, the loop never execute. Let me prove this. First I will change the number, then rerun this. It check the condition and nothing is printed. So when to use while loop? Use while loop when you don't know the iteration count, and loop depend on the condition, and it is very common in user input validation, file reading and network calls. Now I have another scenario. What if I want the loop to run at least once, no matter what? First let me run this do while loop. Here even though the condition is false, the code run once. Now let's understand this with debugging. First it initialize. Here you notice the code inside the curly braces execute first, and then the condition is checked. That's why we see number 10. So this is perfect for menu driven program and asking user input at least once. Now I have another suggestion for you. How do you loop through array, list, collection without worrying about the index. First, let's run this for each loop and see the output. Here it print 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's understand this with debugging. Here we can see for each loop automatically pick each elements with no index and with no risk of index out of range exception. So when to use for each? Use for each loop when you only need read access, when you don't need index, and when code readability matters. Here is a quick comparison when to use which. You can use for loop if there is a fixed number of iteration. You can use while loop if it is a condition based looping, or you can use do while loop if you want at least one execution happen, or you can use for each loop if it is collection, array, list. Some of the common mistakes in loop are making infinite loop, forgetting increment or decrement, using for instead of for each, and modifying the collection inside for each. Loops help us reduce duplicate code, write clean, maintainable code. If this video helped you, give it a like, and in the next video we will learn method and property. Happy coding. Bye bye.